Liverpool go 22 points clear. The FPL forwards go missing. And Sam goes into the top 1k. It's FPL Family. Good evening, YouTube. Welcome to this next episode of the FPL Family. Welcome. My name is Lee. This is Sam. And yet another amazing weekend of FPL action. An amazing weekend of football action, but an amazing weekend of FPL action. Let's get it out there because I ain't sitting here for an hour and addressing it at the end of the show. We can't, we're not going to build up to this, right? It's out there. It's a known. Sam is smashing it, guys. Absolutely smashing it. And if you'd said at the beginning of this game, if you'd have sat here last week, I'm talking you into selling Robert Snodgrass last week. I'm just like, yeah, him to Adama Traore makes a lot of sense, Sam. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Robert Snodgrass, what's it, 18-pointer? Robert Snodgrass. I've never seen you cheer a non-Spurs goal quite as much as the Robert Snodgrass goals at the weekend. No.
Ever, I don't think.
No. And I sat here weeks after, and to be honest, you guys know that have been listening to us for a long time. I've said, oh, you're lucky you do this here. But for the last few weeks, I've been like, you can't be lucky. This is genuinely, you know what you're talking about, and you're good at FPL. I'm back to lucky. I'm back to being lucky.
How?
Those Snodgrass goals, guys.
No.
If you didn't see the Snodgrass goals, two massive deflections. Massive deflections.
That's kind of irrelevant. The point is so how the goals go in. Yeah, the goals themselves are lucky, absolutely. But I think the point isn't it? Is that I bought him in for the double on the basis that he would probably get more points than Martinho. Probably wouldn't do a lot because fixtures were hard, but.
Sir Snodgrass.
It's a game against Brighton next. And
Sir Snodgrass comes through. He comes through. If you
he can go now. He's done his service.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Robert.
Bring him in.
Trot.
Do some bits. Get out of my team.
You've done your bits.
Done.
Liverpool, Man City coming up next. Off your trot.
Absolutely done. Bilal is in. He's saying #Lee sabotage mission. I've tried my best, Bilal. I've tried my best. I tried talking you into selling Robert Snodgrass last week and you just ignored me. You were like, no, I know he's going to get an 18-pointer and 2 deflected goals. Absolutely ridiculous.
Notice that Danny Ings is still broken though, isn't he?
Danny Ings is still broken since I bought him in. Yeah, since I bought him in.
Well,
although away at Liverpool, that's the kind of game that you wouldn't expect him to get much. In actual fact, you said a stat to me, just as we were coming in, about the forwards really going missing this week. And we sat all week talking about, selling Mane and you've got loads of money. Who are you going to get, Aguero or Aubameyang? Well, the answer is bloody nobody. The answer is actually Glenn Murray, who got a bit of a dubious-looking goal, which kind of came off his hip, arm, etc. Who started over Morpie, which we were sort of not expecting. You're right. And Aston Villa new boy, Samatta. Those are the 2 forwards that got any FPL points this week, which is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Guys, we've got so much to talk about. We're going to crack on with hellos and questions straight away. We're going to get into the questions. Thank you to the Twitter community for asking these questions when I tweeted about it earlier. So if you're new to polls, get into the little white eye above my head and answer these questions. We have 4 questions. One from Mr. Rushil Joshi, who I know is in tonight. Rushil, thank you for the question. Always ask a good question, Rushil, as you know. Thank you, Rushil.
Always be relied on, can't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Best cheap striker then, Sam. Martinelli, who did get a start for Arsenal today in the Burnley game, which we will be covering in approximately 13 seconds because there was really, apart from the blanks for the big hitters, nothing to say about that game. But Martinelli in ahead of a certain 70 million plus forward, right? Pepe, I don't think started that game, and Martinelli gets the nod, which is quite incredible. So Rushil's saying Martinelli, Greenwood, Ayew, or Shane Long, in brackets, I'm serious. So there we go. I mean, maybe Rushil's... Yeah, listen, I don't make up the polls, guys. This is the people's polls, right?
Shane Long.
Shane Long is what he's asked. Yes, Rushil, get into the live chat. Tell us why on earth you're thinking of, I assume, double up on Shane Long and Danny Ings. The fixtures are good, mate, but come on.
It's out there.
It's out there. That's Robert Snodgrass out there, that is, Sam. Could just work.
No, this is more out there than Robert Snodgrass.
Could just work.
This is like bringing in Stephen on his debut.
Here we go. Next question. Jimmy Saw, thank you for the question. What to do with Vardy? What are we doing with Jamie Vardy now, guys? So another blank for Jamie. So are we running out of patience now with this guy? It's not like we need to downgrade him and we need a lot of money for any other big hitters, unless you want to go for Glenn Murray or Samatta, who are clearly the informed strikers right now. Or indeed Shane Long, if you're Russia, yeah. Russia, you're doing Vardy to Shane Long. Is that on? Not sure we agree with that here in FPL Family, to be honest. But what are you doing with Jamie Vardy? Get into the polls, answer that question. It's the usual buy, sell, hold, etc. Thank you to Jimmy Saw for the question. Armand Joe then comes up and says, is this, Sam? Bow your head for a second, bow your head. Is this the end of the Lord? Is this the end of Lord Lundstram? Is his reign over? Is he done?
Amen.
God, I think he's gone. Sander Berge, £22 million in.
Does anyone else feel just a little bit heartbroken about this?
Well, I think he was one of the most transferred out players this game week, so most people don't. Sam,
I feel just a little bit heartbroken that the Lord is no more.
Well, that's it. I think he's done.
I feel like we've had a sort of a death in the family.
Chat, he's gone. I don't know. It's Dave Monday. If you're not following Dave Monday on Twitter, you need to do that.
So he retired the shirt.
A little what do you call it? Like a little eulogy almost with his Lundstram shirt in black and white with a sort of, it's been fun, John, but you are gone in my wild card. That's it. Ditched, absolutely ditched.
Sad, doesn't it?
So there we go. So there goes Lord Lundstram, I think. But nevertheless, Armand Joe wants to know: is there anybody that still is going to keep on John Lundstram? Let's not forget that their next two fixtures are flipping good, and they're both at Bramall Lane.
Well, that's all well and good, but
if he ain't playing,
it's coming on for 1 point every time. It's annoying.
You're right. Well, there we go. Get into the polls and answer the world's most obvious bloody question from Armand Joe. So thank you, Armand, for the question.
Good job, I third benched him.
Yeah, final question coming up from Yella. Thank you. And I really like this question, Sam, because this is a question about the blank double game week 28, which we know now is coming up.
Yeah.
Teams that are not playing in that are Man City, Arsenal, Aston Villa, and Sheffield United. Those are the four that don't play in game week 28. So if you've not seen the fixture tickers, if you've not looked far enough forward, you need to start doing that. You need to start planning for that now, because we've got a couple of fixtures, a couple of transfers to play between now and then, and those are all teams that we're loaded up on. They're all teams that we're invested in. So the question from Yella is, which of the players in the poll, Alba, Aubameyang, Grealish, KDB, Aguero, and the goalkeeper Henderson, Sheffield United's goalkeeper Henderson, which of those five worry you the most ahead of that blank 28, and which would you look to sell if you were going to sell one of those?
I like that question.
Good question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good question. So if you're not thinking about blank 28 yet, you absolutely should, I think. You absolutely should. Need to think about that. So those are the questions, guys. Get into the polls, but a little white eye above my head. Those are the 4 questions. Let's say hello to a few people, Sam. And thank you to everybody that got in early, actually, in the sort of 5 minutes that we used to kind of get ready for the show. A lot of hashtag Team Sam's going on. A lot of Team Sam's, a lot of love for you tonight.
Thanks.
I think maybe Bilal or Rochelle just said, are you talking tonight, Lee, or is it just Sam for an hour? Because frankly, that's all we're here for.
Do you know, genuinely, I don't, I mean, we'll talk about it in a minute, but I don't know what's gone on this weekend. I just don't know. If on Friday night, if you'd have said to me, Sam, by the end of the weekend, if Spurs can win 2-0, everyone around Spurs will drop points, and by the way, you can be in the top 1k.
I'll tell you what we'll do, Sam.
I'd have fallen off my chair.
We'll say hello, and then we'll come to you for just a 30-second, because I've had it all bloody weekend, guys. I can't deal with it anymore. 30 seconds worth of just how you're feeling and where your rank is and stuff, because we normally save the ranks and stuff to the end of the show. We will do a full team update and a detailed how our team's doing, all the rest of it. But I do want to hear about your now 3-figure rank, which is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. We've got to say hello. Nymphrria is in. Hashtag girl power, she says. Hashtag girl power. Keza is in. Kieran, hello. How are we doing, Kieran? Eric Lord is here. How are we doing? FPL Ginger Ninja just says, well done, Sam. Well done. A lot of clapping emojis going on. If you want to say well done to Sam, just get a clapping emoji going in the live chat. And in the comments below if you're watching the replay. I want to see it. Azzy is in and super chatting. Thank you, Azzy. He's saying, hashtag Team Sam, we're proud. We're proud. Azzy. Love that. A little shout out to Spurs as well.
Azzy.
Little shout out to Spurs.
Aww.
Azzy.
Aww.
Such a suck up. Such a suck up, Azzy. Listen to him. Goodness me. Your main man, Stealth Panda, is here. He's in and loving it.
Stealthy.
Bilal Qureshi's gone absolutely mental with the clapping emojis. It's going crazy in the live chat now with the clapping emojis. Karam is here. Hello, Karam. How are you doing? Very nice to see you. Sorry, Karam. Why?
City.
Oh, I tell you what, we're going there first on that game, because you've been telling me for months and weeks and months that XG is a waste of time, and I'm wondering on the back of today whether I believe you, because how City have lost that game 2-0 is incredible, absolutely incredible. Andrew is saying, Lee, you're a Liverpool fan, so you can't be too unhappy. Andrew, you're absolutely right. I'm very, very happy.
And remember, happy
very
wife,
happy wife, happy life. Yeah, Liverpool doing well. Happy everybody, yes, just very happy. Viali Wright is in. How are we doing, Viali? FPL Dubs is here. Flynn XD is in. 180k green arrow for Flynn XD this week. Whoosh, nice.
That is a real nice
Very, very good. Wes Yassa is in. Hello, family, says Napoleon York Andrews is here. How are we doing? Very nice to see you. Arya Man is here, and Ferdy Moore, and Gordon003, Thomas Powell, and a whole host of you guys. 440 people in, Sam, watching already, saying, well done, Sam, well done. Dara Ryan, 600k green arrow to this week, by the way.
Hello.
Goodness me, hello, very, very good. And Arnesh is saying, good week for the wildcarders. Yes, we will be having a little bit of chat later on about when we are thinking of playing our wildcards. Both still got them in our pockets, actually, and I must admit, getting a bit itchy with my trigger finger over my team right now.
Happy, are you?
Bit trigger, potentially, but I did look at my team, my bus team for next week, last night, and I thought that doesn't need wildcarding. But then I did like a mock-up of what it might look like in game week 27, and I thought that might need a wildcard because Everton's fixtures turn, the blanks are coming up, etc. So more on wildcards a bit later on. But before we get into any of that, and we'll talk about the games and stuff, just tell us how you feel. Tell us how you feel. What is your overall rank right now? Where are you?
837.
837, and you
Something
were at
like that.
650 something yesterday. So today's games have brought you down a little bit, but only a smidgen. You were at 800 and something.
Yeah, I was at 637, I think, after the 3 o'clocks yesterday, after Snoddy did bits.
This is unprecedented. I don't think.
No, I've never.
We've played this game for 11, 12 years between us. Each, not between us, each. You've maybe done 9 or 10.
No,
but
I think I've done 11, so you must have done like 13.
20 plus years between us, easily 20 plus years. I've never had a 3-figure overall rank, never, and I'm pretty sure you haven't either.
Never been anywhere near.
I think I remember finishing very, very strong one season. I finished 1,700. That was my best ever finish, and I think a couple of weeks prior to that, I was at about 1.1, 1.2, so I sort of flirted with it, but I've never been in the 100 ranks. Absolutely brilliant. It's so, so good.
The thing is, it sounds ridiculous to say this because I've had a good seasonal for since game week 2.
You could say that. Yeah, you could say that.
But actually, this has happened like out of the blue because I've been sort of 6k, 15k, 10k, 15k, 6k, 8k. It's been in and out for such a long time, and then that triple captain Firmino week broke it, and it was like 3, and I thought, right, this is the time. And this is part of the reason that Snodgrass stayed this week, was that it was like, this is the time just for risky punts that aren't that risky.
Yeah.
So Snodgrass against Brighton, who are terrible away from home. Risky punt, he's a differential, no one else has really got him.
Yeah.
But not that risky because it's Brighton who are terrible away.
Yeah.
So it's those...
Educated punts.
It's those ones that I'm kind of looking at now, is who can I bring in that's an educated gamble that won't cost me hugely if it doesn't pay off, but that will massively gain if it does. And Snodgrass was just one of them. No one's really got him.
And do you know what I've noticed particularly about this season is you got to play the long game. I think I'm cool with if you tread water for a couple of weeks and there's if you have a couple of dodgy game weeks but they're just average.
Yeah. As
long as you don't plummet. If you have a bad game week where your game week rank is like 6 million plus, that really stings. It really stings your overall rank. But if you have a bad week but you sort of hit the average or you're just below the average, that's fine. You sort of suck it up and you go on and you just make the most of the good game weeks, and those are the ones that pump you up the table.
I think so. And I think, for me, it's one of those things, isn't it, where normally I get all het up in the long plan and it's like, where am I going and how am I getting there? And this season I started off with a bit more of a long plan, and then it's been a game week by game week plan, and I haven't really had a plan as to, even with the wild card, I didn't have a plan as to when I was going to wild card. I just did it when I needed it.
Yeah.
And it's been the same with everything. There hasn't been a plan all the way along this year, and I think for me that's taken some of the pressure off, because I know that I am a massive overthinker when it comes to FPL, and I ponder on stuff and I really kind of mull it over, and then I often make the wrong decision because I spent too long thinking about it. Whereas this year it's been like, right, I think I'm going to do this, and then I stick with my convictions, and then that's done me quite well so far.
Absolutely brilliant.
But
so the guys are saying now, and this is the title of the YouTube video, Sam.
No, I can't win it.
Can you win FPL?
No,
Can you imagine?
No, so
Can you imagine?
I actually did get this up.
Can I tell you what would happen?
What?
If you won FPL,
What?
it would. People would be just like, right, she's cheating. She's associated with the game. She's on the show and stuff. She's obviously cheating. that's what people
that
would think.
probably would
People would be like,
happen.
genuinely, you're cheating.
I must have got it up on here. I got up how far away I am from first place because I knew you were going to ask me this.
Yesterday, when we looked at it, you were 107 points behind first, which I found absolutely astounding, by the way.
It's more now. It's 114 now.
104. So you are ranked 800th and something, and first place is 114 points still off of you.
836th, and
That is
I'm
bonkers.
114 points behind first place. I'm 35 points behind 100.
That is, do you know what, guys? That is crazy because I looked at how far apart we are right before we went on, and it was like I had hope when there was like 40, 50 points between us. I thought, well,
what is there now?
It's 97. It's
Is
not the
there?
last 2 game weeks. I've taken, not that I've taken a dip, guys. And we'll come to my score later on. I'm actually having a. I didn't have a great game week. I'm having a solid season. I'm having a good season.
I said this to somebody on Instagram. Somebody on Instagram was like, "How does Lee feel?" And I was like,
I'm
Lee's
cool with
fine
it.
because actually he's having a really good season. It's just that unfortunately
If
for
I was
Lee,
at 500,000, I'd be down in the dumps. But I'm
Well,
actually doing fine.
unfortunately for you just have to sit next to me every week, and, then
That's absolutely
and that's
fine.
the problem, isn't it? Is that nobody really realises that you're doing well because you have to be with me all the time.
So that is the challenge that now faces you, and that's why I think the answer to the title of this YouTube video, guys, is potentially no.
I can't
because
win it.
It's between you and I will talk about my rank later, but I'm 80k-ish to where you are, which is top 1k is 97 points. So 97 points. So say it's 100 points. The top 100k is 100 points. It's more than that between you and first place.
Yeah.
In the top 1k.
So
the top 1k is a massive chasm in itself.
But to make that even more extreme, between me at 836k and 100 is 35 points. So
Bonkers, isn't it?
So I can go up another 700 places in 35 points.
And still be
but
60,
that final
70.
one is still like 70, 80 something, isn't it?
So there's 70, 80 FPL points that cover the top 100 places.
So when you think about that, it kind of puts it into perspective. And I think that's the other thing is that for me this season, and that's why I'm really enjoying the livefpl.net and its little breakdowns.
Yeah, it's good that, isn't it?
Yeah, I really like it because for me, the jumps always feel huge in FPL, and it always feels like there's a long way to go. But actually, seeing you've got 4 points to get into the top 10k, that's massively incentivising. And then, so it's the same now with the top 100. It's like, well, actually, 35 points.
Keep set yourself these
That's
little goals.
achievable. And I keep looking at it thinking, I think I could get an extra 35 points.
Oh.
I don't think I can get 114, but I don't have to think that far. I just have to think one step. So it's like 35. Let's think one.
I put out a tweet, I think, yesterday when your overrank was like 600 and something, and I just put a screenshot of your fantasy football fix overrank that you sent me, and I put something like, at this point I'm just a cheerleader. It got like 700 likes. It's something ridiculous. It was like crazy. Right, we do need to crack on. We do need to talk about these fixtures. We do need to talk about Spurs versus Man City that we've just seen, which was frankly what a game for all sorts of reasons. Before we do that, a quick bit of admin. We need to say congratulations to Jemima Louise Kemese, who was our FPL Family January Manager of the Month. Absolutely sensational.
Very unlucky in December as well, was Jemima.
I tell you what, very unlucky in December. So very pleased to see Jemima win it in January. I tell you what, Sam, it was closer than you think there right at the end. She hung on in there. A game week score, remember this is the previous game week, of 81 in the double game week, for an overall score of 302 in January. Now the guys behind her, Samuel and David, got 94 and 100 respectively. So they pushed Jemima all the way, no doubt about it.
And Sam, who was in second, he had Firmino. So had Firmino done anything...
Oh, a little assist from Firmino or something?
Firmino in that game week.
Did he have any TC?
Yes, I think so.
Oh, okay.
Anything for Firmino would have seen him take it from her.
There we go. Well, there we go. So Jemima winning the January Manager Month. Sam up in 800 overall rank.
Let's hear it for the girls.
Guys, we need to go home. Just leave you and Nim free and Jemima to it. Guys, we all need to up our game. This is absolutely sensational stuff. So there we go. Well done, Jemima. An update on our February Manager of the Month coming a bit later on.
And is she a United fan?
I think so, because she's the prize that she's chosen from the Kicking the Balls website, and if you guys haven't checked out Kicking the Balls with 2s's.com yet, after the live stream, go check out the link in the description below. Use the code FPL10 if you want to get 10% off your first order there. Tell them that Lee and Sam sent you. And Jemima is based in Korea, I think. So we are sending a signed George Best.
Oh, it's not Sun. We're not sending Sunny.
No, she will. I think she's a United fan, I guess, because she's got a signed
I think
George
she's
Best
United.
T-shirt. So
Yeah.
that's absolutely
Amazing.
great stuff. So well
That's
done,
nice.
Jemima.
It's a different one.
There we go. So let's crack on with the games. There's our Twitter on the left-hand side. Some nice milestones, actually. Big thank yous we need to say to you guys on tonight's live stream, because not only did we pass 9,000 subscribers on YouTube the other day, so again, if you're listening and you're watching and you're not subscribed yet, go smash that subscribe button. We'd love you to do that and join the other over 9,000 people that subscribe now to FPL Family. But we also hit a bit of a milestone on Instagram as well.
Yeah,
where are you up to now?
We hit 4K.
4K on Instagram. So
Amazing.
thank you everybody over there. Hope you're enjoying the Insta reactions. We looked at each other at the end of the Burnley and Arsenal game and we were just like, nah, no point.
No, I didn't.
What a game.
What were we going to say
What
for
were
a
we going
minute?
to say? Nick Pope, England's number one. That was about it. But the other milestone is 25,000 followers on Twitter. So guys, thank you very much for all of you guys. And I'm pretty sure that most of the 519 people that are watching will be following us on the old Twitter. So at FPL Family on any of those medium. Thank you very much. And I think another milestone, we passed 10 on Facebook the other day, which was absolutely sensational.
Stop it with the Facebook. We have got lots. Right. I'm going to look it up.
No, we're moving on.
While you're talking, I'm going to look it up.
No, we're moving on because last week there was a comment on the video that said, Lee, you make the same joke about Facebook every week.
Well, yeah, you do. It's every week.
It's getting boring, Lee, making the same bloody
It's
joke.
boring because actually...
So guys want to know, John Tyner's like, Facebook? Yeah, what's the Facebook
I'm just
news?
looking it up.
Tips is like hashtag Facebook gang. He's going...
There's a gang. We're so close. Right, guys, if you don't follow us on Facebook, can you go over there and give us a like? Because we got 382. So we could get another 18 out of you tonight. I'd hit 400 and then that would make me happy.
If you want, guys. If you want. At FPL Family on Twitter and Instagram. Let's get on with these games, Sam, for goodness sake. Only one place to start. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs 2, Man City 0. Spurs XG 0.0001. Man City's XG over 3. Tell me how the hell Spurs win that game. And has Riyad Mahrez got a lot to answer for? Because it was his corner, or his terrible corner, that gave the ball straight to Harry Winks, that led to the Zinchenko red, that then led to the inevitable kind of emotional downfall of Man City in that game. What would you make of the game?
There's a hell of a lot of questions all to be answered.
There was,
in one
sorry. What did you think of the game? Let's keep it
I thought
general.
the game was bonkers.
It was crazy, wasn't it?
It was utterly bonkers.
Classic Premier League 1920 VAR nonsense, red cards, saved penalties.
It was just
bonkers.
one of those games, wasn't it? It followed on from the last two televised games before that, if you're in the UK, were the 0-0 Wolves and Man United, 0-0 Burnley and Arsenal, all very boring. And then let's go and have a ridiculous game of football between Man City and Spurs. I mean, I honestly don't know how we didn't concede in that game. I'll be honest, I don't know. Lloris made an excellent save for the penalty.
And also, Gundogan taking the penalty. Now, I understand this whole, while Aguero was injured, Jesus took a couple of penalties and was rubbish.
Yeah.
So I understand Pep coming out and saying, well, Gundogan is our penalty taker. But I think we all assumed that Gundogan is the penalty taker if Aguero's not playing.
Yeah, I did.
Aguero's on the pitch, Gundogan takes it. What does this mean for FPL?
Well, does a Gundogan take it again now because he saved it now? So
it's his first miss, by the way.
Yeah, 9. He scored 9.
He scored 8 of 9 now.
Yeah.
8 of 9, yeah. So does Aguero go straight back on him then? Because Aguero's 3 from 3 this season.
But look, it's Pep again, isn't it? Who knows what Pep's going to do? Put Edison on it next time.
Yeah.
Like, you just can't ever know. And I think, for me, does it limit the appeal of Aguero? A little bit. Not a lot. A little bit, I think. I think Aguero is one of those, isn't he, where, the appeal of penalties is there, of course, but if he's not going to take them, he's not going to take them. It's not the end of the world. But
there's got to be a reason why KDB's not taking them. And I know
has anyone ever seen him take one?
Well, this is it. And I know that the FPL community, and I know you guys in the live chat and Twitter was all about this. Why isn't KDB taking him? And I think we're asking that question because he's in all of our teams. But never seen him take one.
Maybe he doesn't want to.
Maybe he doesn't want.
Doesn't fancy it.
I can't believe that that's the case.
But maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's not a good penalty taker, and
Probably
maybe he knows that.
He doesn't practice them, and he knows that I don't need to practice them because I've got Sergio there, and I've got Gundogan who can take a penalty.
Maybe he just doesn't feel the need. I don't know. But I mean, he's not on them. He doesn't seem to have ever been on them. So, it's just another one of the lotteries to add to the. Does
it put you off Aguero slightly?
No, not really. I think if if you're going to spend the money on Aguero, it would be nice for him to have penalties in his locker. But he scores so many goals without penalties that I don't think it's the end of the world if he's not on them.
I mean, if any of you guys didn't watch that game, I would encourage you to go and watch the highlights wherever you can watch them, because
Probably
up until
about an hour's worth of highlights,
up until the Zinchenko red card and the weird sort of 10 minutes that kind of happened around that, City battered Spurs. And they looked really, really good. They were creating chance after chance, very wasteful. I can even think back to one where Gundogan was like open goal. You know, Lloris saved one with his foot onto the post from Aguero, I think. On another day, Aguero could have had a penalty and could have had a couple of goals easily, and his captainers, who were very, very unlucky, I think, this week, easily could have had double-digit haul. So, for me, I don't think watching those highlights it would put me off getting City, but I do wonder whether Pep's mentality now and the City mentality of the play. It's 22 points now. It's 22 points. I noticed he took ages to come out for his press conference, didn't he, Pep?
Said he was talking to his wife, but do we
Said
believe
he was
it?
talking to his wife. I think he's talking to the players as if to say, look, you gave it your all. It's just one of those days. And I just wonder whether that sort of like...
Is it just one of those seasons?
Is it just one of those seasons now for City where just stuff... they have just come up against what is a fantastic, fantastic Liverpool side. And I just wonder now what the mentality is for Man City going forward. I don't know, especially with the Champions League coming back.
It's all the eggs in the Champions League basket.
Got to be, isn't it?
It has to be. It has to be. The league is done. I mean, whether Klopp, whether the Liverpool players, whether anybody wants to say it, I'll say it. It's done. No one comes back from 22 points behind. Liverpool, it's not just that City have got to win every game. It's that Liverpool basically got to lose them all from now on. It's just not going to happen.
So if you had Aguero, would you sell him?
Well, so yes, but only on the basis. Yeah, but only on the basis that they blank in 28. So you've only got a couple of game weeks of him before a blank, and then so for me, that's why I haven't bought him in. Is that there's this kind of the roulette is there, but also there's a blank, and I think after the blank, when there's going to be a double, then it's appealing to have Aguero again. But
I absolutely don't think you sell ahead of West Ham at home, by the way, which is their next fixture. You definitely don't sell ahead of that. But then it's away Leicester.
But is he going to play him? Because it's Champions League straight after that. So like they've got the West Ham game, and then they've got to play. Well,
could he bench Aguero in that West Ham game?
Well, so they've got West Ham, but then they've got their little winter break, haven't they?
Yeah.
But then it's the Champions League. So I mean, I don't know. For me, it would make absolute sense for Aguero to be benched for West Ham, have 2 weeks off fully, ahead of the Champions League game.
Not as if he's got a lot of miles in his legs though this season. He's not played every single game.
And Pep is going to think, in my mind, you don't trust Pep. I can't trust Pep.
No.
So when it comes to FPL, you just can't trust him. So because you've got to invest so much money from Man City point of view. My fear is that he knows the league is gone, and that the Champions League is the thing that he really wants. It's the thing that Man City really want. It's the missing thing, isn't it, that they haven't got yet. And so I wouldn't be at all surprised to see some rotation in that West Ham game. They don't need Aguero to beat West Ham.
I think what's interesting is looking at the rest of the fixtures. So you guys that Fantasy Football Scout members can go and do this. You can look and rank by difficulty the games per game week. So game week 26 looks a little bit like this. And obviously Man City at home to West Ham. Given West Ham's form, I would say that is a better fixture than the 5th best fixture. Could well be the best fixture actually of the week. And if you've got Aguero, if you've got KDB, of course you're considering captaining them. But it's not as if there aren't options elsewhere.
No. Liverpool
travel to the bottom side Norwich, who like to attack, don't really know how to defend. So there's going to be space in behind for the likes of Salah and of course Mane if he's fit. And the way that Salah's playing right now, it would be a brave man to go against captaining Mo right now. So I think were Liverpool up against Spurs away, or if it was that Wolves away game again, I'd maybe say, well, not really sure who the captaincy is, and you go, right, bang, well it's City at home to West Ham then. And even then, I think I would probably captain KDB though.
Yeah.
So I don't know about Aguero right now. If you've got him, you definitely don't sell him ahead of West Ham, because he could easily play and bang a hat trick, no doubt. But after that, he's looking pretty sellable.
I just think that I just massively worry about the Champions League now. I think before I always worried about rotation with Man City. Now I worry about it more because that is the thing that they've got left. And they've got the blank in 28. And it's all just coming up a bit too...
Still suspect defensively as well. I don't want to talk too much about the defence, but Laporte not there again today. Sounds like he might be back imminently. But, again, that second goal. I mean, Son does take it very, very well. Don't take anything away from Heung-min Son, but goodness me, does Otamendi commit? just commits, and Son is just like, I know you're going to commit, so I'll just knock it to the side and bang it past the keep. It's so easy to attack against Otamendi, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. It was such a strange game. It could have been so different, and probably, I mean, in my mind, Sterling should have got a red card.
That was possibly.
I think there was a bad tackle. He got the yellow for it. Fine, it was VAR'd. Whatever, it wasn't a red. Fine. But if that penalty, him winning that ball after the penalty. If that isn't a penalty, a second penalty, when Lloris goes to catch the ball and he goes, if that's not a penalty, why is it not a dive? And therefore, why is it not a yellow card? And that's where I was like, well...
Do you think he's... He does it so well, Sterling. He does that so well. I mean, immediately, in real time, I was like, that's a penalty.
Yeah, we both did.
I was like, that's the second penalty.
Yeah, we both did.
Because he and Vardy is the master of this, by the way.
Yeah.
And actually, you won't like this, but Kane does it pretty well as well.
Kane's a legend.
They get the ball, and they just make sure they're there first. They tap it past the keeper, and then they dive. But they don't do it like the continental players do with the arch in the back. They just do a great dive. They do a very convincing dive. But now with VAR... Actually, you can get the replay, and I wouldn't say it's clear, but Hugo Lloris does pull his arms back.
As soon as it was in slow motion, I was like, watch Hugo. And his arms, he goes, and you see him go, I'm not getting it, and he comes away from it.
So to that end, yes, I think I agree with you. It probably was a dive by Sterling, probably therefore was another yellow card.
And then that makes a big difference to the way the game is played out. And look, I mean, it was bonkers, let's be honest. I don't think we deserved to win the game. I did, however, think that we managed the game well. From a Spurs point of view.
Very impressed by your new boy, Steven Bergwijn.
First
of all, what a finish. But secondly, what was actually good to see, and again, this is a weird statement, but what was good to see is him pulling up with cramp 70 minutes in, because that shows you what a shift he put in. He was chasing everything down. He was not giving the City players a moment's rest. Everything that you would want from a dynamic forward, he gave you. He was hard press, a very Klopp-style gegenpress, winning it high up the pitch, getting in behind. I thought he was really, really good.
And I think given that the guy arrived on Thursday, so he's only been there.
Yeah, he's been there like 2 days.
Couple of days. Yeah. I'm going to praise Mourinho. I was really...
what?
I know. I was really pleased with Mourinho, because actually what normally happens, or what used to happen with Poch, is we'd sign a player, they'd come off for 10 minutes for 6 weeks, 7 weeks, however long. No. Mourinho's gone, no, you're playing. And actually, by the way, I'll play you exactly where you want to play. So you can take Christian Eriksen's shirt for a start, have that number.
Yeah.
And you play exactly where you want to play. And look at it.
Do you know what? Even Mourinho is such a
he's clever.
He's such an actor in a theatre, isn't he? Because he's like, there's intent there, by the way.
Yes.
Christian Eriksen's shirt isn't even cold yet.
No.
And he's giving it somebody else.
Yeah.
That sends a message.
Yeah. You're replaceable. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Here you are. You can have this shirt. The player
Weird,
the player that the other player is called the Maestro. He's gone. You're him. There
Impressed.
you are.
Just sort of bring it back to FPL a little bit. I know that you disagree with me a little bit on this, but I'm still not convinced that Gio Lo Celso is an FPL asset. I do like him very much as a player.
I think it was different today.
I still think he sits a bit further back with Winks.
I think he had to today because of the way that the team set up.
Okay.
And Mourinho's, you didn't hear him, so after the game, he was really interesting in what he was saying. He was talking about how the problems they have with injuries, the problems with the lack of striker, and what that's going to mean in terms of the midfield and who's going to play where. And I think I sort of agree with you actually. Prior to today, I thought Lo Celso was going to be the main one for us as FPL owners to get on. Yeah. After watching today and after listening to Mourinho, I think he's going to use him in the way that he was used in his old club. Okay. So he was used as much more of a holding midfielder there. And I think for the foreseeable, until our injury crisis is resolved, he will sit further down. Okay.
I genuinely is still not seeing enough, in my opinion, to invest in Spurs. Yeah, I still think that on another day you could have been...
Then.
Oh my goodness me, that guy, does he make some decisions? Oh my God, he makes some decisions. And you said to me during the game, he's weird, he either has a really good game or a really bad game. And I said, he always has a bad game, but he just sometimes comes up against not as good players. When he comes up against the Sterlings and putting putting him up against Sterling today, and Aguero was just like, you just know he's going to make bad decisions.
Got away with them though, didn't he?
And when he dived in for that penalty, I was like, what are you doing? Aguero's going away from goal. I was like, what are you doing? He's so bad. Chris in the live chat, he's a liability in defence.
He's a liability.
Right.
There's a lot of FPL owners that own him still.
God,
they got 6 points out of him today.
It's bonkers. Listen, let's go to the live chat very, very quickly, and then we're going to go to another game. Richard Roman, thank you, Richard, for the comment. He's saying Mourinho and Spurs were a bit lucky today, Sam. You have to admit it.
A bit lucky.
Kevin Melliot is in. Hey, Kevin. He's saying, happy to have Son. Always does well for me. There we go. We've had to wait a few weeks to get those points, Kevin. So well done for getting them this week and for sticking at it. There's a guy in called THFC. That's all he's called, THFC. He just says Coys. And then he says, Aurea was great today. Well, he must have been watching a different game to me. I thought he was bloody awful. SH1M1. Nice. He's saying Tanganga was a beast today. Only 4.0 in FPL.
I tell you what.
Played well, didn't he?
I totally agree with that. I thought the kid was absolutely outstanding again.
Very good. Kevin Mellier saying, no, Lee, I only just got on him. Very good timing. Kevin. Very good timing.
Mane replacement, probably.
Yeah, probably was. Yeah, probably was. Let's go elsewhere. I want to talk about Sam. Here's a question for you then. Brighton, away from home, woeful.
Yeah.
Couldn't even beat Bournemouth the other week, right? Absolutely awful away from home. Go to West Ham and get a draw.
How?
Are West Ham too good to go down? And by the way, while you're thinking of that, I'm going to tell you about their upcoming fixtures. West Ham's upcoming fixtures: Man City away, Liverpool away. That's the next two. Southampton at home,
hard,
which is tough. Arsenal away, Wolves at home. And actually, if I extended that ticker out, it don't get a lot better even for the next couple of game weeks after that. Are they going down, West Ham? It's looking a distinct possibility.
I think okay. If they keep playing as they are, then yes, I think there is a distinct possibility that they could go down. But I saw a picture of Felipe Anderson back in training this week.
Oh, he's going to make a difference, is he?
Well,
are you kidding?
I just think that if they can get some players back...
No.
Yeah.
No.
So there's a chance.
No. So Pellegrini brought in a load of Pellegrini-type players, which is flair, style, this is how I want to attack. I'm going to bring in Allaire and have all these creative players around it. I'm going to bring in like Pablo Fornals because he's a good dribbler. These guys haven't got the grit for a Premier League relegation battle. I'm telling you. They have not got it. And the West Ham fans, if you're in the live chat, or if you're in the comments, or if you're on Twitter, let us know. Am I being too harsh on you here? Am I being too harsh? Because when David Moyes come in, we did see a bit of a bounce. There was a little bit of a new manager bounce. But those players, I'm telling you, they haven't got the bottle for a relegation battle. They honestly haven't. I'm worried for them.
I don't know. I think there are enough players in that West Ham team that do. I think the likes of Noble and Snodgrass will bracket in there, Fabianski.
Oh, don't you give me that Snodgrass.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that they're FPL assets, but what I'm saying is that those players have got enough grit and determination to drag their team out of that battle. They're the heart. I mean, look at Noble. He's the heartbeat of West Ham. Like, absolutely can drag them out of it. And I think with players like Felipe Anderson coming back, he might not necessarily have the character to single-handedly save the club from relegation. But I think what it does do is it offers them something else in the way of an attack. I think that they have got enough players to get out of it. It's just whether they can get on a run.
Okay. Well, listen, I don't want to talk too much about them because there's no way that with those fixtures away at Liverpool, Man City, we're thinking about getting on West Ham. Selling Snodgrass, I assume. He's in, he's done what he needs to do, and he's straight out.
Probably. I mean, I've got a couple of other transfers I've probably got to make in advance of him, but so he might sit on the bench next week, but he will go, yeah.
Okay, all right. Absolutely hysterical defending from West Ham at the weekend. Hysterical defending. Absolutely awful. And from a Brighton perspective, interesting to see Glenn Murray get the start ahead of Maupay. So if you're a Maupay owner, don't think you worry too much because I think he is the first choice striker there. I don't know, genuinely need to analyse that game a bit more to see whether, I don't know, maybe Potter saw a weakness that Glenn Murray could exploit in that back line for West Ham. Don't know. Maybe he wanted some presence up there. I don't know. But there we go. Let's talk about Liverpool then. As much as we're talking about how bad West Ham right now and how we might target them from an FPL perspective in terms of who's playing against them, I think without stating the absolutely flipping obvious, you get free Liverpool, don't you? And you just stick with them for the remainder of the season, or at least until the league is won.
I think,
and then you maybe assess.
It's not a question of how many. It's still not a question of how many.
Yeah.
It's obviously 3.
And so thinking about that then, so you're on Trent and Salah and Firmino. You've got to stick with that, haven't you? Surely.
Yeah, I think so.
Madness to change from that, right? Bobby Firmino, 3 assists this weekend.
I think so. So my intention, and those of you that are on the Slack will know this, my intention was always Bobby for the double, Bobby for this week, and then probably downgrade on Bobby to the double up at the back.
Okay. So you're feeling like double defence is the way forward? Well,
just in terms of... So the part of the reason for doing it was budgetary. It was kind of like thinking about, well, I can free up the money up top from Firmino. There's other assets there I would really like Jimenez. So if Firmino going down to Jimenez would be lovely. That could give me some more money at the back and I could have a better defence because I feel like the defence is going to be really important in this run-in. The way the fixtures are going, there's a lot of clubs with really nice long periods of defensive clean sheet options. So that was my intention. But I can't take him out, can I? Look at the guy.
I think you do. I think you need to consider keeping him. No doubt about it.
I'm not taking. He's not going to go anywhere.
He and Jordan Henderson probably man of the match yesterday. They were both fantastic.
He can't go anywhere. I'll get rid of Vardy for Jimenez instead.
I think you could be right about that. And to be honest, guys, I mean, listen, 4-0 flattered Liverpool, actually. Flattered us a little bit because I thought Southampton were fantastic, particularly in that first half. It wasn't so much that Liverpool weren't at it. That is true, but Southampton were properly at it. Southampton played very, very well. They are a good side, there's no doubt about it. And 4-0 flattered Liverpool, no doubt. So I think ahead of this run of fixtures that Southampton are about to embark upon, let me remind you of them if you need reminding. Burnley and Villa at home.
Nice.
Jeez. West Ham away. Hello. Nice. Newcastle at home. Norwich away. It ain't getting any better than that for any team in the league for the next 5 game weeks. So if you've got Ings, keep. If you've got McCarthy, keep. If you've got, I don't know, if you've taken a punt on Redmond or you've got Jack Stevens at the back, keep. There is no need on the back of a 4-0 win to get rid of any of your Saints. No. And if you watch the highlights of that game, they were very, very good indeed. Very good indeed. So let's have a look elsewhere. I don't want to talk, again, Liverpool, just get 3 of them and stick with them. I like what you're saying about the 2 defenders. I'm probably going to go there myself. I think that's where I'm going to go. I don't think I'm going to go Salah and Mane back in the middle as much as I'd like to do that. And I think there are other options up front. I think there's despite Samatta and Murray being the only ones to get any points this weekend, I do think there's some good options there. Whereas at the back, I'm increasingly feeling like, just the 6 after 6 after 6 after 6 for Liverpool, isn't it? It's incredible. So Trent is now done. I've just got to decide whether I want Robertson or whether I want Van Dijk, is the reality. So there we go. Leicester 2, Chelsea 2 on Saturday lunchtime. Feels like a long time ago now, this, doesn't it? And it was
another ridiculous game.
Well, it was a perfect setup for what was a ridiculous game week, right? Because Rudiger getting the 2 goals for Chelsea was just... I don't know if they were his first 2 goals for Chelsea. I think they might have done. The second one in particular I loved. The second goal, what a bullet header. Really, really good. And what I liked about his celebration, they said this on BT Sport at the time, his celebration was not, I'm amazing, I've got 2 goals. It was, let's get that ball back. We want to win this game, which shows you that Frank is building the right sort of mentality at Chelsea, which is great. Leicester, for their part, would they be happy with the 2-2? I don't know. Vardy blanks again. Maddison blanks again. Even though Maddison did create a couple of chances that, frankly, Johnny Evans in particular should have put that header away. Shouldn't he? Definitely.
And he should have put away the Leicester ball, the Vardy ball that he put in just before Vardy was going to get taken off.
That was a big miss. Yeah, it should have been a Vardy assist, shouldn't it?
Because we were just ranting about how it's another blank, and then literally as he was about to get subbed, he put that ball across, and we were both like,
that was Barnes, though, wasn't it? It wasn't Maddison. That was across to Harvey Barnes. I'm pretty sure that was a Barnes miss. But nevertheless, Vardy blanking, Maddison blanking, Barnes not blanking again. No. Interestingly, in the points again, Harvey Barnes. How are you feeling about Leicester? Again, no clean sheet. Played Chowdhury there in that centre defensive midfield position because Ndidi again suffered a bit of a relapse on his injury.
Brought him back too quick.
I think they probably did a bit. Yeah, probably did a bit. And Rodgers has kind of said, well, we've got the winter break now and we're going to sort him out and I think he's going to be okay.
I think he will, yeah.
But nevertheless, it's if I was a Leicester fan, I'd be happy that we've got such a big gap between themselves and 4th place, actually, because I think they might actually need that gap.
Was it 6?
I think it's 6 points. I think so. The guys in the chat can tell us differently. But without Ndidi in there, they do look vulnerable. And to that end, I really want rid of Soyuncu. Really want rid of him. And I must admit, I'm really flaky on Vardy right now as well. How are you feeling about those 2? Because you've got them both as well, haven't you?
I think they're both going to go for me this week. I don't really want either of them.
Out of Leicester altogether?
I think so. I definitely don't want Soyuncu. He's definitely 100% going to go. I just don't... There's so many clubs, like I said before, with nice fixtures that could easily keep clean sheets. I just don't feel like Leicester are in that bracket right now.
She thought he looked a bit not just exposed, but a bit vulnerable, Soyuncu.
Yeah. He spent a lot of time kind of just looking like a rabbit in the headlights in that game.
Didn't he? Did a bit.
And you know, it's against Chelsea, right? So we should caveat that with Chelsea are good going forward. You know, Chelsea aren't great defensively, and we saw that again from them this week. But, you know, they are a good team going forward. So Soyuncu was always going to have a tough game. That's why I benched him this week. I didn't see a clean sheet coming for him. But I just don't trust him anymore. So there was a time where Soyuncu was like, I didn't even look at him.
Nailed on, right?
I just didn't look at him. He was just he was there with Looney. That was it. The pair of them together were just going to start every week. And now I'm looking at them. I benched them both this week. And it's like, well, what? Lundstrom is slightly different
we'll talk about him in a second,
because of his price tag. But with Soyuncu, there are so many players I could go up or down to.
Yeah.
I've got 3 million in my bank. I can have anyone. I just don't see him as offering any FPL value right now.
Yeah, and even if you wanted to save a bit of money, I thought Wolves, and we'll talk about Wolves maybe briefly in a second when we talk about the Bruno Fernandes debut, look defensively very, very sound now that Willy Bolly is back. The guy is an absolute, he's a tower of strength back there for Wolves, no doubt about it. So I foresee cleaner sheets now for Wolves going forward potentially. And they've got through
some tough games now. They've got through the Liverpool and Manchester United games. So they're the 2 hard ones done.
So that's from a Leicester perspective. Soyuncu, yes, we want rid of. Vardy, you think you're going to get rid of him this week?
Did you see anything from him apart from that one assist potentially, the last thing he did?
He missed the chance fairly early on in the game, and I know that we shouldn't be. Yeah, all right, he missed it, so therefore didn't get the points. But I did get some comfort that he's, you know, at least getting in those positions. I don't think he's worth 9 point something right now. I think he's borderline 10, isn't he? I don't think he's worth sort of high 9s.
I don't know. All I know is that I've watched him now for weeks and kind of given him this
benefit of the doubt. Because,
and I said it on the FPL show last week, a player doesn't go bad overnight. He had such a great start to the season. He was on such a great run of form. All of those weeks constantly scoring goals. The baby comes along, the calf injury comes along, the bum injury comes along. It's all kind of happened at once. And for me, it was a bit like, you know, he's not gone bad overnight. We just need to get him scoring again. Okay. And I still feel like once Vardy starts scoring again, he'll then start indefinitely scoring again. Okay. But when is that going to happen? Because I feel like I'm wasting a lot of FPL points waiting on him.
Okay. So tell me this. So it's Leicester Wolves in game week 26. It's at Molineux. So it's Wolves versus Leicester at Molineux. Will you be going into game week 26 with Jimenez or with Vardy?
I'd rather have Jimenez.
Yeah, me too. I think I agree with you on that. Chelsea, for their part, again looked. It was a kind of typical Chelsea performance. Again, defensively not great. Going forward, kind of okay, but lacked a bit of cutting edge. I thought. I mean, Mount looked okay, but the fact that the 2 goals come from Rudiger tells you a lot about Chelsea right now. In terms of, I don't necessarily feel really like I have to get them. Just don't feel really compelled to get in any Chelsea.
No, I mean Pulisic is supposed to be back in 26, so that's another one to throw in the mix.
That's a wait and see, is it not? Definition of a wait and see.
I feel like Chelsea are a bit like that at the moment. I just don't feel like we're getting a massive amount of consistency from Chelsea right now. And
the games still look difficult, right? Man United, Spurs next, then Bournemouth away. Bournemouth, maybe they're on a bit of a revival, who knows?
And let's throw the Champions League into that mix as well, because that's coming up.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to advocate, isn't it?
It's tough
hard.
To advocate. It's hard.
All right, let's talk about Mr. Lundstrom then. So we're going to gloss very quickly over Vincent Gaeta's own goal, which was frankly comical defending. Not much else to talk about in this game, other than if you haven't got
Dean Henderson.
If you haven't got Dean Henderson. I was going to say if you haven't got Dean Henderson, get him in. But given the blank coming up, you probably don't want to do that. Although the next 2 games are at home against very, very clean sheetable.
I think there is
fixtures.
Definitely justification with Dean Henderson for getting him in regardless of the blank. Because if you've got Dean Henderson, the chances are you've got, like I do, somebody like McCarthy or, you know, whoever who can play in that blank game week.
If you had McCarthy though, you wouldn't swap to Henderson right now because McCarthy's fixtures look great. Saints fixtures look great.
No, but what I'm saying is that you can the price tags are you can have the 2 of them together and they're a nice rotating pair, and then you can just ditch for Henderson. Obviously, you can't play in 31 either because it's parent club game.
Okay.
So you can just play the other one during that time, and I think there's a couple of you looked it up, didn't you? Who is it that's got? Is it Roberto that's got really nice fixtures? Who is it?
Roberto? He's long gone.
Who is it that's got really nice fixtures? Newcastle. It's Newcastle, isn't
Dubravka.
it? It's Dubravka. It's Newcastle that's got really nice fixtures.
Yeah,
so you could have a look at you can have a look at rotating, because I think Dean Henderson, the kid, not only does he regularly keep clean sheets, but he gets bonus points like they're going out of fashion.
Okay, and FPL Lieutenant is in. He's saying triple Sheffield United paying off right now.
Yeah,
loving that.
I'm missing the double up without Lundstrom playing, to be honest.
Okay, let's see what you guys are saying about Lundstrom as well before I come to you, Sam. Lundstrom out soon, RIP. Robert Lodge is saying RIP. Ahmed is saying Lundstrom has contract issues. Yeah, I did hear some ramblings from FPL Blade on Twitter about the contract issues and the fact he's getting a little bit above his station, maybe, Mr. Lundstrom. Chat, goodness me, there's a hell of a name. Chat Zivasilis, goodness me. I just call him Chat. Chat is saying Lundstrom to which other Sheffield defender? So there's a good question, Sam. You're on Henderson. I assume that you probably want rid of Lundstrom. Is it as easy as Karam is saying and you just go Lundstrom to Stevens, or do you want to drop down a bit and save a bit of money, or are you just happy having Henderson?
If they hadn't have blanked in 28, I would have absolutely 100% swapped him to someone like Baldock or Stevens, and I would have just gone for another Sheffield United defender. Yeah. The blank means I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to. There are other. We've already talked about how Southampton have really nice fixtures. Newcastle have great fixtures. There are Wolves are coming up to some nice runs of fixtures. Yeah. So there are other defenders. So I will go off Lundstrom to a different club, and then
who are you thinking?
Lascelles.
You're thinking Lascelles, yeah. Warren Reedy's in the live chat. He's saying Lascelles 4.2.
That's where I'm going.
You fancy Lascelles?
Yeah, that's where I'm going, 100%.
Okay.
And then after 28, once they've blanked. Then, at that point, I will 100% have another Sheffield United defender, because they'll have a double and the fixtures are still nice, so then I'll be back on the double then.
Yeah, I must admit, going into the next 2 game weeks, and here are the Sheffield United fixtures. The next 2 game weeks, where are they? Sheffield United, Bournemouth and Brighton at home, both look like fixtures, and then Norwich actually in 29. So there's 3 out of the next 4 where they're going to keep clean sheets, but there's just that big blank in the middle on 28, which I've only got Lundstrom. So I feel like I'm going to be going into certainly Bournemouth and Brighton at home in 26 and 27, kind of minus 8 points down in reality. Yeah, I could get rid of McGovern and just stick Henderson in there. I could do that, but I feel like McCarthy's got me covered, right? Because he's got Burnley and then Villa, and then he plays, of course, in 28. So I've got my set and forget keeper for the next at least 5 with McCarthy. I'm not going to play Henderson in those games, I don't think. So there we go. So it's a lot to consider if you've just got Lundstrom. I think Lundstrom straight swap to another Sheffield United defender. And I think if it were me, I think I would take a bit of a punt on Ender Stevens, actually. I'd trust some of the underlying stats, because some of his underlying stats in terms of how far he's getting forward look pretty good.
Don't fancy the new guy?
Well, no, I think he's classed as a midfielder as well, isn't he? So I don't really want him.
Properly?
Yeah, I don't really want him. I think I would probably go Stevens. If I wanted to save a bit of money, you'd maybe have one of the other guys, Egan or something, or O'Connell. But Stevens, I think, is worth a bit of upside if you definitely want to go there. But the blank is the elephant in the room there, no doubt about it. Bit of a bonkers game at the Vicarage Road. Watford 2, Everton 3. What a hell of a comeback from Everton, by the way. I mean, I'm not quite sure what Watford are playing at, because they went 2-0 up, looked really good, and then to concede 2 goals from set pieces. I mean, you know that Everton are going to look for Mina on set pieces. They do every single corner they hit. So conceding 2 goals to 2 headed corners from Mina
as well,
right on half time, is like, what the hell are you doing? So I don't know. You got anybody from either of those sides? I mean, I've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin right now.
We've both got Holgate.
We've both got Holgate, yeah, and given that their next fixture, I think, is Crystal Palace, Everton, Crystal Palace at home, I want to keep both those guys for that. But then after that, Arsenal away, Man United at home, Chelsea away, Liverpool at home, I don't want either of them for that run. Maybe Calvert-Lewin, but I definitely don't want Holgate for that run. How are you feeling about Holgate? Has he done his time now in your team?
Got an assist this week.
Yeah, I know. Jamie assist though, didn't it? It kind of just fell off his foot to me. No, I don't
know. I'm not as anti holding him over that period as you are.
Okay.
I can see him getting us, because I want to try and hold my wild card, so I can just see him sitting on the bench for the tough games.
And is Joe Finley Banner? Hey Joe, as he's saying, is the Pearson honeymoon period over for Watford? Is the new manager bounce? And it was a high bounce, but is that bounce now coming down? Are they back to reality for Watford? And their fixtures coming up: Brighton away, and we know that Brighton are a different side at home. Then a trip to Old Trafford, then Anfield. Liverpool going to Vicarage Road. then away at Palace and home to Leicester. So that is not looking like investable territory for the Hornets, is it?
No, but it's a really weird one because they started that game really well, and it was like almost like someone stuck a pin in them midway through.
Well, another nice comment from Joe. Ismail Assar, hugely missed.
Yeah.
Hugely missed. Yeah, I think he gave them an
How
extra
long was he
dynamic.
out for?
Don't know. Joe will tell us.
How long was he gone?
A quick word on, before we move on, a quick word on Man U 0, Wolves 0, which was like watching paint dry, frankly. A word on Bruno Fernandes, because there's obviously a lot of talk about, obviously in the Manchester United community, but in the FPL community too, about the new guy coming in, 8 million. A few people bringing him in, actually,
It
taking
was
a bit of a
cheaper than
punt.
I thought.
Slightly cheaper than I thought.
I was expecting to be a lot
slightly
more.
cheaper than I thought. I had a look at some of his underlying stats in the Portuguese league, and I'm telling you, whatever flavour of FPL they have over in Portugal, if they have one, you'd have Bruno Fernandes all day long, and you'd captain him every week because all the underlying stats, the shots in the box, touches in the box, goal, even just goals and assists to games ratio is phenomenal. Give me your opinion. I personally think that United have got an exceptional player here. I think he is a world-class player.
Yeah.
Fantastic player.
Yeah.
I worry about the guff around him.
That's why I haven't bought him in yet.
Yeah, I do worry about that.
I totally agree with you. I think he's a fantastic player, a fantastic signing, could be brilliant at Manchester United. And if it was the Man United team of, say, 4 years ago, would have been brilliant at Manchester United. But at the moment, that team, I don't even know what way's up at Manchester United right now. There's obviously the Pogba situation that's still bafflingly rolling on. There's just
crazy, that isn't it?
Crazy, yeah, that's all nonsense. Then you've obviously got the injury to Rashford, which it has a massive impact on Manchester United. You can't underestimate how important Rashford is to them, and how important Rashford is to Martial as well, because he's so ineffective without.
Well, I think you're talking about a different area of the pitch, right?
No, but all of this stuff, the way that Manchester United play and the feeling in the team and the confidence is just down because they've got all these issues all over the pitch. So you bring in this guy, and I think Manchester United fans and us in the FPL community, because we all want to invest in Manchester United because they're one of the biggest and best clubs in the country. We look at him and we go, he's nicely priced. He's a brilliant footballer and has been fantastic in the Portuguese league. I'll invest in him. But I worry about putting him in there. What kind of position is he going to play for Manchester United, and what impact will he have amongst all the rest of them?
Do you not think he's going to be a lot better when he's got that proper six next to him?
Yes.
When he's got Scott McTominay. So when Scott McTominay comes back, he and Bruno Fernandes could work quite well, I think.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
The one thing I did like about him, we'll move on from this in a second, but what I did like about Bruno Fernandes' debut was that he already had the confidence to
he worked hard,
tell players where to go, and he's been there less than a week, and he's telling Fred to go over there, and he's telling Martial he should run there, and he's pointing. He wants the ball, wants to be involved.
Yeah.
That is all goodness as far as I'm concerned. I think he's a quality player.
I do.
I'm just not sure about the quality of what's around him.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. I totally agree.
I think he's definitely a watch this space for me. He's a watch this space. He could become the heartbeat of that team if they could get.
He should be. He should become.
Yeah. It's like if they could get peak Pogba back.
Yes.
Which probably is never going to happen. But if you could get peak Pogba back with Bruno Fernandes in midfield, you would have a hell of a middle two.
Yes.
But is peak Pogba ever going to happen again for United?
It's really hard for you to say peak Pogba, isn't it?
It's very difficult.
I don't know.
Don't make me say it again.
I don't know is the answer, because I don't think even Pogba knows if peak Pogba will ever come back again.
No.
But if he could, then I totally agree with everything you've just said. That will make the Manchester United midfield a really interesting FPL conundrum.
Odion Igalo, yes or no?
Well, I'm going to go with no, but only because Spurs went with no, so there must be a reason for it.
Odion Igalo.
Did you see the tweet? There was a thing that went out on Instagram about how Solskjaer signed him just so that coronavirus comes. So there's a reason to stop the Premier League altogether. I thought that was funny.
Ridiculous. Let's see what you guys are saying about Bruno Fernandes. Let's see. Matt Henley, how dare you call Lingard guff? How dare you call?
I don't think you named him, did you?
No, but it was implied, wasn't it? And by the way, Matt, you're absolutely spot on about that. Micah McClatchy, hey Micah, he's saying Pogba and Bruno playing together would be like Lampard and Gerrard together. Just wouldn't work. looks good on paper, but just wouldn't work. Interesting, Micah. Okay.
That's a really interesting way of putting it.
Let's see. FPL Schwartz. Martin is here. How are you doing, Martin?
Oh,
He's saying best player of the match, Bruno Fernandes.
Yes, I don't disagree with that. But there's not much else in the Man United team.
Looked a bit of a yellow card magnet, potentially. Some of the guys are saying. I think I agree with that.
Yeah, he got booked, didn't he?
But on his debut,
at least he was showing some trying.
He's showing some intent there, right? All right, he got booked, but
I don't mind
showing
that.
some bloody
shows
some
a bit
winning
of commitment. Yeah, I agree.
I'd like to see that. It's good. MU Fan TV, how are you doing? Good evening.
Hello, this will be interesting.
Yeah, well, he says Ollie will suck the life out of him. Watch this space.
Oh, no.
Come on, there's got to be some positivity. The guy is clearly a good player. It's just whether we can work.
There was a Manchester United fan that commented on the Spurs post earlier with a picture of Mourinho smiling, and he was a Man U fan, and he commented, "I miss this guy. All my manager does is sit there next to Carrick." And I thought, it's such a shame because Ollie could be. I still think he could be a great manager. I just don't know what's going on there.
No, you're wrong.
I'm wrong.
I
still think it could have been great.
Ollie is rubbish. He come. This is a. Maybe we'll do an Ohana on the problems at Man United or something because I like talking about him. But
I feel sad about it.
No, he's. I don't think he's a good enough manager. He's definitely not a good enough manager for Manchester United, one of the biggest global football entities in the world. He is not a good enough manager. The fact that he's got crap above him as well is a totally different conversation. But he is not a good enough manager for Manchester United. Mauricio Pochettino is a good enough manager for Manchester United. He is a good enough manager. Poch is the right fit for Manchester United.
I'm going to say something out there.
Go on.
I miss Poch a little bit less these days.
Oh, what? Have you've been seduced by the Mourinho circus, haven't you?
I feel like
your XG was 0.01 today. City battered you.
But that would have happened under Poch and we'd have lost. I feel like Mourinho's played mind games with me and he's starting to win.
God.
I feel like he's starting to sucker me in.
He does this everywhere he goes, Sam. When you signed him, when it was announced, I told you will love him, and then he'll leave your club in the.
I feel like we're going to get the Champions League, and I feel like we're going to finish fourth, and Mourinho.
Oh my God!
I feel like he's.
Oh my God!
I don't know. It's almost like
it's already happened, guys.
I've been seduced.
It's already happened. Mourinho has already happened. Before we descend into utter chaos, Poch will be United manager this time next season. Mark my words. If not in the summer. Here is an update for our Manager of the Month February League, our Patreon League for February. So, guys, if you are not in the February Manager of the Month League, if you want to consider supporting us on Patreon, or if you already do support us on Patreon, the league will be open until the beginning of next game week. So Saturday, it's not a Friday deadline, is it?
No, it's Saturday.
Saturday. So when Saturday's deadline passes, next Saturday, as in 6 days' time, I will close the February league, so you won't be able to get in it. So now is a really great time because you don't get charged on Patreon between now and the end of the month. So if you want to come in, try out the league, have a look at the Ohanas, have a look at some of the Slack and all the rest of it. Now's a really good time to go check us out. Patreon.com/FPL Family. All the links in the description below. And when you do that, you get access to the February Manager of the Month. Now, guys, a word of warning, if you get into the February Manager of the Month, you have got some competition in that league. Some competition because a certain Mrs. Sam Bonfield right now is at the top of that league with 91. So patrons, up your game, guys. Come on.
Have I got 91? I can't. Right, just to be for complete clarity, I cannot win this league. So whoever is in second is actually winning the league.
Oh yeah, so yeah, so you don't win your own prize at the end of the month. No,
but if I win it, you can buy me a prize.
What?
Yeah.
That was never a thing.
That's a thing now.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Right, guys in the chat, if you think if I win this league, should Lee also buy me a present as well as the Manager of the Month? A Toby Alderweireld shirt. That's what I want.
No, get lost.
Yeah.
No, I'm not having it.
Yeah.
Well, if you win the February
If I win the
Manager
February,
month,
you have to send whoever's in second whatever they want, but you have to get me an actual Toby shirt that I can wear.
I'll tell you what, I believe in the patrons. I believe in the patrons. I will do that for you, no problem.
Guys, please have a terrible month.
You now want the patrons to crash and burn.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Who's second? I want you.
You can have tips bringing in like Bergwijn, and you can have like
tips. You've got to bring in Richarlison.
Yeah, that's it. They're all bringing in Siggy. There we go. So there we go, guys. Sam is currently top of the February Manager month. So come on, up your game. We need to not let Sam win that Toby Alderweireld shirt. Goodness me. And for those of you that haven't,
who is second?
Say again?
Who is currently second?
Oh, I should probably cover that, shouldn't I? Yeah, Nick Penwarden is second. Well done, Nick. 79, which is absolutely not to be sniffed at whatsoever. Antonio with Sky FC and 78 points in at third, and then Sam Hawkins again, a regular.
He's always up there, isn't he?
A good few weeks, isn't he, Sam? Actually, Martin Schwartz is in at fifth, a regular long-term patron. So Martin, thank you for your support. And then we've got Liron in at sixth, and then Liam Healy, who's having a massive change of fortune recently. Liam having a very good few weeks, in at seventh in the February manager month. So watch this space, all to play for. Loads of FPLs to be played throughout February, so it's all going to change. And if Sam wins it, I'll buy her a Toby Alderweireld shirt. So you guys need to up your games. For those of you that haven't checked it out yet, patreon.com/FPL Family. Here's an idea of the sorts of things that you can win if you win the mini league. It's all signed street signs and signed football shirts and all that sort of stuff, courtesy of our sponsors, kickingtheballs.com. Links in the description below, and of course, modelled here on the wall as well, as you can see there. So loads of good stuff that you can get, signed shirts, etc. I know that all you guys want to see Sam's team, so we're going to do mine first.
Cheeky monkey.
So here's my team. 55 points, very, very average. 1436 total. I was at 72k last game week. I was up at like 45, something like that, and then I rocked down to 72 because of the Mane. The Mane triple hurt me, no doubt about it. 30k, if not 35k rank drop, it stung, no doubt about it. And then this game week was guff, guys. It was proper bang average, if not a little bit below average. So my new overall rank is 81k. Not to be sniffed at, of course. I'll take it. We'll build from there. Still got the wild card in the pocket, which I doubt if I'll play next week. But I am eyeing it up for game week 27. So watch this space. Apart from the Liverpool boys, absolutely nothing happened. And I appreciate Mason Holgate got the assist, but conceded 2 goals and I think got booked. So I ended up with just 3, which is pretty rubbish. Trent with the 6, but then that's the minimum you expect from Trent nowadays. And of course, I picked the right player with Salah captain. I did go, I think, on your Instagram or maybe on the Fantasy Football Scout Instagram and say I did fancy Jack Grealish maybe as an outside differential captain.
Good job you didn't.
And then in the same video said, however, I will be sticking safe and going with Salah. Thank God I did. Because Grealish played well in that game. Obviously didn't get the right results. So guys, a real non-event, my team this week. A real non-event. 2s and 1s galore with only Mo Salah really flying the flag for Team Lee this week. So overall rank 81k. We go again. We move on. Here is the team that you'll want to see. 91 points for Sam this game week, which is frankly bloody brilliant. Previous overall rank 2k or thereabouts. Now your overall rank... You were at 3.
3.8.
3.8. Okay, and now your overall rank is at 836, which is bloody superb. Talk us through your team. I think we've hit on all the main things, right? The Henderson 3 bonus points, the Snodgrass deflected goals, the Firmino assist, the Salah captain. I'm not bitter at all. Talk us through it.
I mean, I'll be really honest with you. I was really scared about this game week. I didn't like the look of my team. I was really worried about it. I just was, and I was talking to the guys in the Slack before it. And I did an Ohana saying, I really don't feel comfortable about this team at all, but I want 2 free transfers going into the winter break. I want to make sure that I'm happy and settled for 26. So I'm rolling and we're just going to pray that the red arrow isn't too great. And then this happened. And I was like, wow, Henderson, I can always count on Henderson. He's been great for me all season and was actually one of the best things I ever did in game week.
Clean sheet normally means Baps as well for Henderson, doesn't it?
100%. And I've had him all season and he's not going to leave my team ever. Holgate, I feel a bit more comfortable with him than you do, I think. So I'm pleased with him. Rico, I was disappointed with because he was on for 7 until they conceded that goal. So that was really disappointing. Salah captain was the right decision. Obviously, I might have an issue with Dele Alli now going into game week 26. I've got to keep an eye on that because he is red flagged. Mourinho's already talked about how he doesn't think he'll make the FA Cup this week. But obviously, I've got a bit of a dilemma with him because then Spurs don't have a game so their game in 26 is much further delayed. So I have to make a decision. So he could be fit, but you're not going to know that going into the start of 26 next Saturday. So it's a bit of a dilemma really with him. Snodgrass obviously was just, I just don't even know what to say about him. And then Vardy innings disappointing, but Firmino absolute legend again. So 91, 3k green arrow to 836.
Absolutely incredible. Let's see what you guys are saying. Tom Gravgard, congrats, Sam. Bilal, all hail Sam. Oh my God, guys. Micah McClatchy, all hail... Oh, God.
Thanks,
all hail
guys.
Sam.
Thank you.
Joe saying, well, Sam, pretty average season for you then.
Yeah, no, it's not great, to be honest, Joe.
Chris is in there saying, my word, she's so lucky. Well, Chris, I'm telling you, 2.5 years of luck, mate. It's not luck anymore, I'm telling you. J Rich, wow, well done, Sam. Flynn XD, that's magical. Liron Bard, it's no longer Lord Lundstrom, it's Lord Sam. Oh, that's Sam, oh my God. Joe Finney Batter says, lottery numbers, please, Sam. Ariaman says, it's Sam's world, we're all just living in it.
And Spurs won.
And Spurs won, so what more do you want?
And I'm going to get a Toby shirt if I win the league, so, you know, what more can I want from life?
There we go. Let's have a look at the polls before we go, guys.
Polls,
let's go back to the questions. But I never forget the polls, Sam.
You always forget the polls.
I'm not surprised you forgot it.
Has somebody said the polls in there?
No, I'm not surprised you forgot them. I never forget them. Never forget the polls. Best super cheap striker, Martinelli, Greenwood, Ayew, or Shane Long for some reason.
Martinelli.
Martinelli, interesting. Okay, yeah, the guys agree with you. 69% of you guys going with the Arsenal man, Martinelli.
Has anyone gone Shane Long?
5%. 5%.
I'm intrigued by this.
Well, that is probably just Russia, isn't it? Russia and a couple of his mates.
We need to have a little chat about this over on Slack or...
Yeah, Russia, let's have a... Yeah, we need to have a one-to-one on Twitter or something, don't we?
Yeah, wherever.
Greenwood 13%, Ayew 11%, Shane Long 5%. Interesting.
Maybe I'm missing something here.
Interesting. What to do with Vardy, Sam? Buy, hold, sell to a premium or sell to budget?
What does Jimenez count as budget?
It's a good question, isn't it? Yeah, go on then.
Budget then?
Yeah, because I guess sell to premium is Aubameyang, Aguero.
Yeah, okay, well, budget then.
Sell to budget, okay. Oh, I've lost my place. Hold on. Sell to budget, here we go. Very, very close. Very, very close. No one is saying buy Vardy right now, which I guess is not surprising. 38% saying hold, actually. So there's still some faith there in the FPL family community. 38%. But it's very close. 35% are saying sell to budget. And 25% are saying sell to premium. So the overriding feeling, I think, is...
Banks in 28.
Possibly, yeah, possibly. So the overriding feeling is sell. So if you add those two together, I mean, that is what, 60% versus 40% saying hold. So there's 6 out of 4 of you guys are saying 6 out of 10 of you guys are saying sell.
Yeah.
And of those people, most are saying just sell to budget. Sell to budget. Interesting. Okay. No one's saying buy. No one wants in at the party. People are trying to leave.
It's normally the time you hang about.
I'll be on Vardy for another 4 weeks. Guaranteed. Is Lord Lundstrom's reign over? Yes or no?
Yeah.
85% saying yes.
The Lord is dead. Long live the King.
85% saying yes. 14% saying no. Who will we talk about in the FPL show now? Blank Game Week 28 problem players, Sam. Here's that nice question from Yella. Thank you for the question. Problem players for 28. If you had to sell somebody, or you were looking forward to 28 and you were going to go into it with 10 players, for example, and you had to get rid of one of these, would you get rid of Aubameyang, Grealish, De Bruyne, Aguero, or Henderson? Who would you get rid of? Tough, that, isn't it?
It will be either Aubameyang or Aguero because the others are easier to bench.
Okay.
Could have rotating keepers. That's not a problem. I probably would get rid of
based on today's performance, Aubameyang.
Yeah.
Go on then, Aubameyang. The guys agree with you. 33% of you going Aubameyang, so a third of you saying the Arsenal man. 27% Aguero. So yeah, the guys are with you in terms of it's one of those two probably.
It's the budget thing.
It is, I think. And then Grealish in at 23, so a little bit of lack of love for him over the last sort of 24 to 48 hours, which I think could be a Villa thing, which you've been saying for weeks, by the way. De Bruyne at 11% and no one get rid of the keeper Henderson at 4%. Most of you guys keeping him or indeed rotating him. You're right. So Aubameyang in at 33 is the one to go there of the problem players. Well, there we go, guys. That is the end of another FPL family. Only left to say that we have a couple of podcasts that will be with you this week.
I'm absolutely devastated that I'm not going on anything this week.
You're on nothing this week. No Scoutcast, no FYI. No pod, and no FPL show.
To put me on the Scoutcast this week. Like I'm big someone.
Have a word with Joe and get him to put you on the Scoutcast.
I've never been this high up ever.
You've got to get out there.
And I'm not going anywhere.
You've got a quiet week, and the one week you want to shout it from the rooftops.
I know.
All you've got is the guys on this stream. But what more do you need than the guys on this stream?
No, I'm taking a Hana this week.
You should do Ohana this week.
You're not having a Hana. That's mine.
Oh, trust me, the patrons only want to listen to one of us, and it ain't me. I'm
having a Hana. That's 100% mine.
Well, there we go, guys. So we're going to be. I'm going to be on the Fantasy Premier League podcast this week with Mr. James Richardson, and then you will be.
About me.
And I'm sure they'll ask about you. Yes, I'm pretty sure.
I'm top of that league now. I've overtaken Jules.
You are beating Mr. Jules Laurent, aren't you, at
He's
the top
third now
of the podcast guests league? Is he down to third? Who's second? Jack Lang.
Jack.
Oh, nice. Okay. So you're first, Jack Lang. Jules Laurent is third. Nice. Okay. So I'll be on that podcast. I think I'm doing okay in that, Lee. I'm doing okay.
You're about fifth, aren't you?
They will be asking me about you. I'm absolutely sure of it. And then you'll be on Ohana as usual on Friday. So that's it, guys. That's where you'll find us. Of course, you can find the audio of this live stream on all of your favourite podcasting platforms. So if you've got a Spotify account, Apple Music, SoundCloud, Deezer, Castbox, all those places, even on if you just use Google Music or Audio Boom, you can find us on there as well. What I normally do is take a download of the live stream, rip the audio, stick it up there as a podcast, so you've got it in your Spotify or your Apple Music or etc. So if you do want to listen back to us rather than watch the whole video again, then of course you can do that. Of course you can do that. Well, there we go, guys. That is the end of Game Week 25. And what a game week. What a game week. I don't think I've ever seen you as happy as you are right now. 800 odd rank in the world. Spurs beat the current champions.
I mean, life.
What a game week. Not going to get any better than that. You've peaked.
I've got Love Island next as well. I honestly don't think that life gets much better from a football point of view. In fact, I'm going to say it. Life gets no better than this from a football point of view.
That's it. We've peaked. You're in love with Jose Mourinho.
No, I didn't say that.
some shots. There we go,
however, in love with Stephen. What a kid.
Well, listen, thank you for joining us tonight, guys, on FPL Family. Leave us a like before you go, and of course, hit that subscribe button. Join the other 9,000 people that have hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. We will, of course, see you this time next week when we'll be looking at everything that's been going on.
Not a lot.
In Game Week 26, which is actually only a few games. It'll be a review of 4 games, and I look forward to the other half of the winter break games, of course. So thank you for joining us. Leave us a like before you go, and we'll see you very, very soon. Cheers.
Bye, guys.